I thank you so much for the opportunity to sit and have a chat with you today. Um, for those of us who are listening, viewing right now, Mr. Fontaine, Dr. Fontaine, is not currently in Dominica. Initially, he was, but he is now in Sudan. So there's a time difference, and we want to say thank you for allotting this time for us to sit and chat again. So again, tell us who is Dr. Thomas Fontaine.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this introduction. Thomson Fontaine. I'm currently in South Sudan. I work with the Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission. This is an organization that has been set up to monitor and evaluate the peace agreement in South Sudan. So basically overseeing the functions of the unity government that is now in place and ensuring that the peace that was signed in 2018 is maintained. I am the Deputy Chief of Staff with responsibility for strategy. Before coming to South Sudan, I was an economist at the International Monetary Fund for some 13 years, where I worked on different, mainly on, not Caribbean economies per se, but on African economies, Afghanistan, also a few countries in the Middle East. And between coming to South Sudan and my stint at the IMF, I was a university lecturer at the University of Maryland. I did that for 1 year, lecturing graduate students. And I also served 4 years as a senator in the government of Dominica as an opposition senator for 4 years. And before that, I worked in Dominica in the Ministry of Finance and also taught at school there as well. So that in short is my, if you like, my professional career up to now. And just happy to be talking to you.
Okay. As you know, I heard Sipsion for Dominicans, and those of you who speak Creole, you know what Sipsion is. Now, for Trinidadians and the English speakers, it's, we hear a little Tory. So I heard a Sipsion that you may be possibly the next UWP leader. They are currently the opposition in Dominica. Can you currently, at this time, confirm or deny that Sipsion?
As you rightly pointed out, it's just a Sipsion at this stage. As you can see, I'm here in South Sudan. There have been discussions about this in the press lately. I contested in the election in 2014, in fact, as a member of the United Workers' Party. And I am always open to whatever possibilities are there, but as of now, I'm not the leader. We still have our leader in Honorable Lennox Linton, and we'll see what time brings.
No, funny that you mentioned 2014. Can you give us your account of what happened on the day in question, which led to your detainment upon arrival into Dominica, and a bench warrant being issued in your name? Can you tell us more?
Okay, so what I can do is to give you the background, but I can't go into the details of the case because as it is right now, I have a gag order where I'm not allowed to speak about the case per se. But I can tell you that in 2017, before coming here to South Sudan in 2017, February 7, 2017, the United Workers' Party organized a major rally against the corruption of the current government and basically calling for the Prime Minister to resign. We started our rally at about 12 o'clock in the afternoon and ended at about 4 o'clock. At that time, at 4 o'clock, we then dispersed. However, some individuals stayed on. And at about 7 o'clock that night, there was some altercation with the police. riot police. They were dressed in fatigues and riot gear, started to tear gas a very small crowd that had remained. And in retaliation, some of those individuals who were in the crowd, they left that area where they were being tear gassed and went on a rampage around town, destroying some buildings, basically vandalizing some buildings. No fires were set, it's just that they broke windows and so on of several business places in town.
We don't need permission from the police to have a meeting. But the police is illegally dictating that it must start now and stop now. We can go up to 11 o'clock tonight if we want, because we don't want to offend the Noise Abatement Act. And we can stop at 3 o'clock if we want. And we can start again at 4 o'clock, or we can start at 3:30. We can do what we want. We are the people of Dominica, and the power in people is greater than the people in power. You don't work for yourself, Daniel Carbon. You don't work for yourself, police officers. You work for the people of Dominica, and that is us. We are your employees, and you're going to listen to us this afternoon. You're going to listen to us this afternoon. Because we have a right to dissent in this country. We have a right to come in the streets and to hold our placards up and to shout and to chant. Let's chant now. Let's shout and we chant. Scare it must go. Let's go. Let's go. Louder. 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 I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Talking about? You see the nonsense we're talking about? A peaceful meeting is taking place for which no police permission is required. And they are trying to come to tell you now. Little children now, it's time to go home. Who are we disturbing? There's no problem. They are creating a problem right now.
Four public order events specialists from CARICOM now in Dominica to investigate February 7th unrest. Specialists from CARICOM are said to have arrived in Dominica, at the invitation of the DLP administration, reportedly to investigate the activities that took place during the February 7, 2017 unrest in Roseau. This was revealed by National Security Minister Rayburn Blackmore, on state-owned DBS Radio Friday, February 24. He said the team comprises of 2 police superintendents and 2 police sergeants, one of them being an attorney. Blackmore said the team will assist in directing the existing investigation, reviewing all evidence gathered, submit reports to the police commissioner, and make recommendations based on their findings. He said government recognizes and supports the right of Dominica's citizens to self-expression, and has vowed to uphold the right to assembly and freedom of political expression, as given by the Constitution. However, he said in expressing that right, the right of others, and the laws of the land should not be violated. Blackmore added that the disturbances were not normal, and stated that the events of February 7 runs antithetical to what we stand for in Dominica, and affects and undermines all elements of society. Blackmore further stated that all possible action must be taken to prevent this from happening again, in Dominica. He said this is a matter of tremendous public interest and he called on the public support and cooperation. Both opposition parties, UWP and EFP, have distanced themselves from the disturbances, saying it took place several hours after their peaceful meeting had already ended. However, Prime Minister Skerritt has insisted that it was part of a plot to overthrow the DLP government.
Subsequent to that, several of us within the opposition were arrested. Initially, in fact, when I was arrested about a few weeks later, we were arrested and told that we were in fact charged with treason. The initial charge, in fact, the arresting officer, when he said the reason for my arrest was that we had devised a plan during that rally to overthrow the government of Dominica, and we have been arrested for that purpose. I was questioned for about 2 to 3 hours at the police station and then released without charge. Subsequent to that, after all of that, the government went ahead and issued summons to appear in magistrate court on charges of incitement and obstruction. So these were the charges that were eventually brought against myself and about 5 other opposition members, including the leader of the opposition, the former Prime Minister of Dominica, Edison James, and 2 other of our members. We were, so that was in 2017. Then I left and came to South Sudan. And then in 2018, summons were delivered to appear in court. A court date was set. A court date was set to appear in court on those charges of incitement. At the time, I was actually in Dominica a few days before the court case. And I discussed the situation with my lawyer. He thought that given where the case was, and I had to go back to work, that he would be able to explain to the magistrate the reason for my absence. And since the case was not going to be called at this time, he thought that it would be a fairly straightforward thing to be excused from the court. So that was agreed upon. And he made the application to the magistrate. However, that my excuse was not accepted. And they went ahead and issued a bench warrant for me to appear in court at an undisclosed date. At the same time of the issue of the bench warrant, the government also adjourned the case sine die. So the case was adjourned sine die. However, they issued a bench warrant for me to appear. So that was late in, that was sometime in 2019. Then obviously we had COVID came up in 2020 and 2021. Those 2 years, the country was practically shut down. I was here in South Sudan. So at the first opportunity that the country opened up, I decided to return to Dominica, which I did, to face those particular charges. And I informed the court that I would be arriving on the day of my arrival, give them my flight details, the time that I was arriving, through my lawyer. and with the expectation that I would be able to get back to Dominica and I would be given a date to appear in court. However, the government saw it fit to have me arrested on arrival. So as soon as I landed at the Melville Airport, I was taken into custody. It happened to be a Friday. I was brought into court. I was brought to the police station rather that same day. Actually, it was a Saturday. It was Saturday afternoon. Brought into the police station. My lawyers tried to get bail that same day. However, the magistrate came to issue bail, but it was determined. The magistrate was told that the Director of Public Prosecutions would deal with my situation on Monday. So it meant effectively I had to remain in jail for the weekend, which I did. And and I was taken to court on Monday and granted bail with the condition that I do not talk about the case. I cannot speak about the case publicly. I cannot discuss the issues around the case. But since all that is public knowledge, I figure I'm not basically going against what I was told to do. I want to follow the orders of the court. And I can't go into the details of the case, but I can tell you that is the background to what happened.